Okay, welcome back. We're going to start the new module or the next module called the Service Lifecycle, which consists of roughly 9 topics, of course all related to the new Service Lifecycle model as introduced in ITIL version 3, something that wasn't available in previous versions. Okie dokie? So, what's this Service Lifecycle model all about? It says here, the service lifecycle is a model used to glue the 5 ITIL core service management publications together. And those 5 publications are service strategy, service design, service transition, service operation and continual service improvement. Together creating a natural flowing order of objectives. So why are we doing all of this stuff? Authorities, who's allowed to make what type of decisions, interfaces, how do all these processes and ITIL volumes actually work together, roles, who is doing what in the organization, and activities. So what type of responsibilities and what are we actually going to do in here. So the service lifecycle is really like a model that glues all the activities and all the processes and all the functions in service management space together. So let's have a look at the actual model. Okay, what does it look like? Well, we start at the core, and the core is where? Well, the core sits as strategy, at a strategic level. That's where we make decisions. That's where we make decisions on like what type of services are we going to roll out in the next couple of years. What do our customers want, and do we have enough like budget to fund all the services? So that's a service strategy level. Now, once service strategy gives a green light for a number of services, then who's going to design them? Well, that's the next level. That is service design. So service design is going to look at like the processes, the architecture, how to measure the efficiency and effectiveness of the services. So they're really going to create a blueprint of like what the new service is going to look like. And this blueprint is known as the service design package. And the service design package is then like almost like handed over to like service transition. Because service transition, it's like the volume that takes care of change, going from A to B. I'm talking about like the building, the testing, the implementation, the handover, the early life support, the documentation, the training, the whole shebang. That's service transition. Once service transition, if they've done their job and the service is now like installed into the live environment, then who comes around the corner? Let's see, we've got like service operation here. And service operation is really about maintaining the status quo. It's about providing day-to-day support. It's about doing like ongoing maintenance. It's really about like keeping the service up and running. And if something goes wrong, well, we'll support the user. So what's missing? There's one part missing, and that part is called continual service improvement. I call continual service improvement Big Brother, because that's really what it's all about. It's like Big Brother keeping an eye on everything you do within your service management space. So are we running the processes properly? Are we doing our activities properly? If not, well, someone needs to take action. And that someone is typically continual service improvement. So it's about keeping an eye on the organization. Are we doing it okay? And even if you're doing it okay, well, maybe you can still do it even better. So, and it's not like if it ain't broken, don't do anything. No, if it ain't broken, feel free to improve it if it's going to be cost effective to your organization. So here you've got the 5 key components, the core components of like the ITIL service lifecycle: strategy, design, transition, operation, and CSI, which stands for continual service improvement. Okay, let's talk about the service lifecycle scope. It says here the scope of the service lifecycle volumes, those 5 volumes, include value. Come on, without value, without benefits, no one would be using ITIL. So surely there must be heaps and heaps and heaps of benefits, like adopting like something like the ITIL framework. Each volume covers like 5 to 10 processes. And each process, of course, like consists of like activities and sub-activities. Roles and responsibilities are covered for all the processes and also the various functions, by the way. And very important are relationships and interfaces. Relationships and interfaces between processes, between those volumes, and also with the rest of the world. I think the next slide will go a little bit deeper into like the interfaces. Technology. What type of technology can we use to actually support our service management activities? And of course, like our processes should be driving the technology and not the other way around. There's an implementation guidance, so some tips and tricks on how to approach or how to like deal with like an ITIL implementation. And last but not least, some challenges, some risks, yeah, what may go well and what may go wrong, and also the critical success factors, so the so-called CSFs, that you need to think of when implementing ITIL. Okay, so what are the various service lifecycle components? Well, we've already seen some components, and those components are known as the ITIL core. And they are actually the 5 books. So they're service strategy, service design, service transition, service operation, and continual service improvement. So they're known as the ITIL core, those 5 volumes. Now, each of those volumes, if you look at the last like 30-40 pages, they actually give you some like more specific guidance on, for example, how to implement ITIL in a specific environment like defense or health or like a manufacturing, like a car industry. And that is known as the ITIL complementary guidance. So the ITIL complementary guidance is a set of publications with specific guidance to industry sectors, organization types, operating models, and technology architectures. Last but not least, there's one more vital component that is part of the service lifecycle, and that's a website known as www.itil-live-portal.com. And that's where you can find a whole bunch of articles and templates, all related to like service management space. So let's have a quick look at the service lifecycle interfaces. ITIL is really about synergy. Can all these components, all these processes, and all these functions, and all these ITIL volumes have to work together and have to communicate with each other? So it's really synergy here. It's a function of like how the various service lifecycle components work internally, and also how they interface with the rest of the world. How the various volumes work together. So how does service operation work together, for example, with service transition? How do the processes work together? What are the relationships, for example, between like incident management and problem management? And also, how do the functions work together? How do the people within a function work? And also, how do functions actually work together as part of like overlapping processes? So interfaces are vitally important, or are a vital important part of like the whole IT service management environment. Okie dokie, let's do another practice what you preach exercise. The objective is to understand the value and the challenges of using and or adopting the service lifecycle model. So I'm going to ask you to list the value statements and list the challenge statements of actually using this model. Some examples, some value examples, and not reinventing the wheels, and it actually provides clarity and direction for your organization. And some of the challenges, cultural readiness, is your culture ready to accept ITIL? And also, do you have commitment and support from all those involved? So that's a bit of an exercise for you. Okay, a quick sample question. The question is, guidance specific to an industry sector or technology architecture is likely described where? Answer A, in the ITIL core set. Answer B, in the ITIL complementary set. Answer C, in the definitive ITIL master collection. Or answer D, in the ITIL complementary guidance. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about the answer, okay? Okay, hopefully you found an answer by now. It's a bit of a toss-up, isn't it? It's a bit of a toss-up, hopefully for you, between answer B or answer D. Is it called the complementary set or is it called the complementary guidance? It's all about terminology. The correct answer is answer D, okay? In the ITIL complementary guidance. So, what are we going to do in the next topic? In the next topic, we're going to look at the main goals and objectives of one of the key ITIL volumes known as service strategy. In other words, what is service strategy all about? What's the whole volume all about? Live long and prosper. I'll see you back next time. Cheerio. Have a good one.